As I promised, we're bringing special guests every week. I'm so excited to introduce you to our next guest, and you're going to learn some gems. We'll be right back right after the intro. I'm Lenita Holston. If you have not yet met me, and I have the privilege of helping emerging leaders build the confidence to use their voice so that they can effectively lead their teams and go out and do some amazing things. And I know you know this, but for the past year and a half, I've been doing public speaking classes, and all kinds of people come, organizational leaders, everyday, like organization, I don't know what you would call someone, junior professionals, and also small business owners. And today, our special guest is someone who has attended one of Vocal Values public speaking classes. And I want to introduce you to him. DaJuan, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I feel like I made it.
You definitely made it. You made it. Go ahead and tell the people who you are, what it is, who you are, and what is it that you do.
So my name is DaJuan Pitts, and I'm an entrepreneur. So I own a property management vacation rental design company called D Harvey Pitts. So we design and manage short-term rentals, so properties such as Airbnb, Verbo on for owners, and we design and manage them. And then I also own a cleaning company called Clean Moves that specializes in student housing, turnover cleaning, and move in, move out cleaning. So we clean, you move slogan. So those are my two companies that I work with on a day-to-day basis right now.
He just gave us a whole lot. So let me unpack that. First of all, you own a property management company, and you all not only manage the property, but you can design it.
Correct.
Then you own a cleaning company where if you're moving, you all are come out and do those move out cleanings. I think I said it right. So you move, we clean.
We
I
clean,
love
you
it.
move. We clean,
We
you move.
clean, you move. Okay. I love
Hmm.
it. And if you own any rental properties, you are like creme de la creme. And so my fiance has a rental unit, and we absolutely will be giving you guys a call because his renters are moving out. But enough about that. Why would you take a public speaking class? Why were you interested in doing that?
Because well, one, I took a speech class when I was in college, so that was my first time ever, speaking in front of people, and I knew just how important public speaking is. And I took the class because one, I just wanted to get better at speaking. I wanted to be comfortable and be able to speak to, if it was 5 people, 10 people, and be able to command a room. And then one day I have a hope of just being able to speak and spread some of the things that I've learned in entrepreneurship and life to a lot of people, and I want to be confident. As I saw a person like Lanita B when I saw her speak, so she was kind of inspiration for me.
I appreciate that. And that's the goal, that we would inspire other people. That once we climb, we would help someone else climb. I was inspired that you wanted to take the class because initially we don't market to entrepreneurs and small business owners. My mindset wasn't that someone might be in a business and want to expand by using their voice. So you helped me to see that. What Dewan didn't mention also is that our connection is that we are both Goldman Sachs 10,000 small business alumni. And that's actually how we met in that small business program. So shout out to 10KSB. If you are watching and you happen to be an alum, go ahead and type in 10KSB in the chat. We hope to see you at the national conference, which is in October. That was a shameless plug.
I'm going.
Um,
I'm
but
going.
are you going?
Yeah, I signed up. Yeah, I'm going.
Yep, I'm going. That's not a room you don't you like. You make time to get into that room. Um, so let me ask you this: has there been a moment in your life where the experience of speaking up or saying or having the courage to actually say something had a positive impact on your life or in your business?
I think that, as a person, if I wasn't doing what I was doing now, I always felt like I was going to be a therapist, right? And a therapist is a person that's really good at listening for the most part. So, and I think a big thing for me that I realized is I can talk to someone, but I could talk to someone and I have a message to give, but sometimes learning like, well, how do I want to give that message, right? Is in speaking with like as I learned from you, like brevity and tone and just being comfortable. So I think that was there were times where I would say and I was just like, okay, that might have that was good, but it's just like that wasn't smooth, right? That wasn't how wanted it to be. So it was just like that was like something that I realized like I really, really wanted to become better at.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that because without an awareness of our communication skills, we won't have a desire to improve them. And so you had an awareness, an area that you wanted to grow in. That's really good. Um, Talk a little bit about what has happened since you've taken the class, because DaJuan has basically purchased everything that I could sell somebody. So you took the class, then you came back and you said, I want to work on this project. Tell us about this project that you have and where the inspiration came from.
So the inspiration came from, so I have a project series called Everything is Business, and pretty much that came from the title of it came from in the conversation, just realizing like I was talking to someone and they basically were like, well, I don't know anything about business. I'm not in business. And then I was just like, well, I mean, honestly, you realize like really everything is business. So like that concept that you're telling me, you're saying, I'm like, you really don't want. And I gave it to him. And I broke it down. I was like, well, if you have a baby, it has to be born in the hospital. There's medical bills. There's doctors. Like that's business. You go to church. The church could own a lot. You tithe. That's business. If you donate something, right, it's to something called Goodwill, wherever. That's a business, and the biggest thing in talking to them, I was realizing I'm like, I've learned a lot in these past 6 years I've been in business. And it's been like, well, how can I get that across and talk to people about these stories that I have and just overall understanding where the world is going as far as sharing content and seeing it because I'm a person that observes content. I'm like, well, how can I add my value with
Mm,
that, right?
mm-hmm,
Your and then I saw what you do, and I also know what I'm good at, right? I know what I'm good at, so I'm like, I'm a huge proponent of being like, oh, you really good at this? I like what you do. Let's partner together, and you help me do that. I don't want to do things alone, right? I know I love partners, so that was a big thing and collaborating. And I wanted to get to, in one time we were supposed to work on something, but it didn't go through, right? So I was like, I want to see this to the end. And it was just like something I just felt like I really want to see where this can go, right?
mm-hmm.
How help me, and if I could help you in any way, great, right? But I knew at the end of the day, you were a person that could really help me get to the goal that I want because I like what you do. So I'm like, if I like the way your stuff look, I got this vision. And that's the other thing. I know what I want, but I don't know how it is. But I know what I want. But I'm like, well, I don't know about that. So I just asked you, hey, I know I want this. Can you help me with this? And it was that simple.
Yeah, it reminds me, the one of that book, Who Not How. I think you're the one who referred that book to me because for those who are watching, Dewan is an avid reader. I hope that you will follow him on LinkedIn. He has some amazing content, but he always talks about the key takeaways he's learning from the books that he reads. And so, Who Not How just talks about you have something that you want to do. Don't think about the how. Think about the who. Who can help you execute that? And so, I feel like that is that concept. Our partnership is that concept in real life, in real time. What excites me most about this series is, when you're doing content, there's different kinds. We have content to entertain, you have content to inform, to persuade. And I think this is a combination of all of them. It is entertaining for those of you, just a sneak preview, because the stories that Dewan is telling are hilarious, but it's informative because there's like this small bite of wisdom that you're like, oh man, I didn't think about it that way. Or wow, that's such a powerful takeaway. And I would say it's persuasive too, because you are re-engineering how we think about what's actually business and what that looks like in all areas of life. So shout out to you for this concept. You are the visionary. I'm just helping the vision be executed. And so shout out to you for bringing the this concept to life. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. I can't
I'm
wait
glad.
for you guys to see it.
I'm glad you said that, like visionary, because even in the book, in the book that I read, I forget which one it was called, but there's two roles you gotta have. You always have in a business, you gotta have a visionary, and you gotta have an integrator, and that's the person that is the person that's really doing the work, right? Doing all the stuff. But the visionary is the person who can see it, right? And see what the dream is and know, hey, keep on, going far. But the integrator is also being like, well, realistically, it takes this, this, and this because the visionary just knows like they what they want and they're the dreamer, right? And so I'm glad you said that because that's kind of like I said, that's what I needed.
Hmm. Yeah, I used to say I'm not a visionary. I'm a doer. Like, tell me the vision, and I can execute it. I can think about how to start, how to finish it, how to market it. I've become a visionary over time, but my strength is in the execution. So it's always good to partner with someone who's opposite of what you have. Okay,
For sure.
so what are you learning about yourself working on this project? And if for those of you who have not gotten the concept yet, it's a video series. It's a content series that will be produced in the form of reels, in a form of storytelling, essentially. What have you learned about yourself during this process?
The biggest thing that I learned about myself in this process is that in these experiences, like, when you're going through all these different things, you're really sitting down and you're like, well, why am I going through this? And really just understanding why, like, what it came from and why you went through it, and how much stronger I've gotten over the years as a person and as an entrepreneur because of the things that I went through, like the lessons that I had, because it's made me better. Um, Understanding and really understanding, okay, you have to be resilient in this, right? And understanding, like, and not short-sighted and really thinking, don't think about today, think about 10 years. Like, thinking years, I'm thinking days, right? Thinking about all these things. So just learning, like, understanding I've came a long way in this,
Hmm.
but I'm hungry and
Hmm.
understanding that that's personality. That's my personality. But just understanding and learning more about myself. But I really came a long way. I've done some good things so far.
Hmm. Yeah, learning about your journey through the content that we're producing because I had to read it. I said the same thing. I said to myself, wow, like, I'm sure there's more. And in fact, when DaJuan first came, he had just a few stories. After a while, he just kept adding to the inventory of stories that we were going to produce. There was so much there. I feel like, and I say this all the time, if you want to increase your confidence in one area, like learn a new skill. And public speaking, I feel it can be the conduit, which is conduit is just a channel, can be a conduit to help you illuminate other ideas that you have. So once your skill or confidence in something increases, it like expands what you feel are opportunities for growth. And DaJuan, you're not the only person who has taken that class and out of it has executed an idea or project. That's how I know this concept is true. That's how I know it's true. Um, okay, so we're in the midst of working on the project. We don't have a release date yet, but for those who are watching, what advice would you give to them? Someone who might be, there's a million ideas that they have inside of them. They are the visionary. What advice do you have to them if they want to do like one big project that they have on their plate?
If it scares you, you need to do it. Because that was the biggest thing that I realized in this is I knew I needed to. Someone told me years ago that I should do content. And the biggest thing that I didn't that I said to them, I was like, why would they listen to me? Right? I didn't think that I even had enough or knew enough at that time. And and I think that it was an uncomfortable thing for me. Like it was like, do I want to do this? Do I really want to put forth the effort and do something and follow through with this? And it was scary. But I think being uncomfortable is something that, and it goes back to your question that you asked me over these years, being an full-time entrepreneur is uncomfortable. But some of the best things in my life have came from me being uncomfortable. So
Hmm.
I Hey, you're uncomfortable. Probably one of the best feelings in the world for you that you don't realize because something good is happening. When you're comfortable, you're not gonna really get anything. But when you're a little bit, it changes things. So you think about things a little bit different.
Sure
You
do.
know, you
Especially
don't have you don't have no money at all. You get real creative. But you got options, right? You think about things a lot more, so it's different.
so true. And that resonates a lot with me for sure. Um, the timeline between, because what we also didn't mention is that this video series I told Dewan has the potential to be a book. And once you start dreaming, like if you just get momentum about something initially, you will see all the other areas that it could quickly unfold. And that's been my career in general. But the one small step of saying, "Hey, I think I want to do this." He didn't even know what it was going to look like. Just, I think I want to do this thing. And as it started to unfold, I'm like, "Wow, this is a book." And when I see book, I say, "Wow, I see book tour. I see speaking engagements. I see hosting a business conference, hosting a business mastermind, hosting business retreats." There is a byproduct of packaging our intellectual property that we can soon begin to leverage. So, Dewan, you are officially what I would call a thought leader. The moment we start packaging our intellectual property and we can convey it in a way that inspires, informs people, we are a thought leader. And it didn't take much except getting uncomfortable to do that. So, high fiving you from Baltimore.
Thank you.
um, tell the people where they can find you, connect with you, so they can anticipate this series that's gonna drop this summer.
So you will be able to follow this series. Everything is business on Instagram under my name is DaJuan Pitts. So it's DaJuan Pitts, Pitts, one word. So that's where you could find it. And it'll also be on Facebook and LinkedIn as well under my name, DaJuan Pitts. So in all those spaces are pretty much, and also on TikTok, it will be under D Harvey Pitts, DHARVEY. TTS, all one word. So those are the four main platforms, forms of media that will be sharing the series.
Awesome. Well, we are so excited for Dewan's new series that will launch this summer. And if you need a little momentum or a little push to get uncomfortable, you're going to like this series. It's real, it's raw, and they're life stories that he's being very transparent about. Big losses, but great wins on the other side of that. And I don't know about you, but it don't take much to be inspired through someone else's stories and also to just want to see them win and then see them win on the other side. So shout out to Dewan. Um, I will link underneath the video his social media link so that you can stay connected and anticipate what he's going to share because I'm anticipating it too. And I'm grateful that he chose me to help execute his vision. I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. We're going to continue to bring folks on to share their journey, how they're using their voice in their own unique way. And if you enjoy content like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe and like button so you can come on back for a little bit more love and a little bit more talks. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye now.